The show.
Thank you.
Brian, you got like 1/8 of the James Harden coming in.
Got a lot going on right now.
Yeah. How far are we going down? I'm just curious.
I think it may have another weekend. Starting to itch a little bit my face.
Keep prize of artificial.
Need to
looks good.
Clean shave like CC.
I like it.
Keep it going. It looks good.
Yours is actually real hair. We got a lot of smoke.
I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for
I'm off it.
You shaved me out of it.
Right now.
Do it. Do it. Wipe my face.
Brian. After much speculation, to the surprise of not many people, Rob Gronkowski is calling it a career. Just 2 months after winning the Super Bowl, Gronk told his fans on social media he is forever grateful to them and to the organization who drafted him. In his 9 years with the Patriots, Gronk made 5 Pro Bowls, he caught 79 touchdowns, and he basically transcended the position of tight end. Brian, could you put Gronk's career in some perspective for us as a former player?
Well, you're talking about dominant. You're talking about one of the greatest players at his position of all time. Gronk is that guy. But when I talk about greatest ever, and Gronk certainly is in that conversation, there's 3 things, 3 categories I bring up. Dominance, I think of rings, and longevity. How long did he do it? And so we talk about dominance. He revolutionized the position. He put the position in a place where you put small guys on the field, we'll beat you up in the run game, and I'm too big. I'll catch the ball over you with my catch radius and my size. When you put big guys in, I'll run past you. I'll still catch the ball over you. And, of course, he had the run game, the run block. And so we know he was dominant throughout his time. Rings, 3 rings. So you can't argue there. They've been in multiple championships, I think 5 championship games, 3 rings. And longevity, that's the only one thing that if you're talking about the best ever, Tony G, Antonio Gates, John Mackey, some would say, he's fallen just a little bit short. But over the course of his career, the 9 years that he played, compared to anyone else's 9 years throughout the course of their career, he's right up there with the best of them.
Right. When you don't have the long career, though, you can't be in the same category because this is a physical game, and the people that can endure that physicality, they should be rewarded for that. So 100%. when you have guys that play 15, 16 years, like the numbers will speak for themselves, but if you took his best years and you put them in with the other best years, yes.
Yeah.
But man, he took a beat, and this is a physical game. And at the end, Gronk had a great career, but the game won. He can't play to that level any longer. That's the reason why, you know, his career is being cut short. But tremendous football player. I just think his blocking ability will always be underrated. I remember the game I think it was Indianapolis, where there was a lot of jawing going back and forth, and they ran a goal line play, and Gronkowski blocked the guy out the end zone. Then after the game, he said, I had to throw the guy out the club.
Out the club.
And spicy interview like that, you're not going to see from a Patriot. No. He brought that to it, but he'll never get that type of credit. And because of his personality and everything, people don't understand. You can be a very, very smart football player and be silly. You can maybe not express yourself eloquently like other players, but be a brilliant football player. And you can't play all those positions unless you are hell of a smart. And I know New England's system, as complicated as any offensive system. And the way he can go up and down that lineup, Brian, and play in all those different positions, like that speaks to his overall football IQ.
And as great as Tony Gonzalez was, and Tony Gonzalez played literally twice as many games than Gronk did, Gonzalez was not even a very good blocker.
No.
You know what I mean? Gonzalez was a wide receiver playing tight end and had numbers accordingly. Gronk did everything well. And the career that I think Gronk compares to the best is a guy who actually didn't play tight end, and it's Calvin Johnson. Another guy who played only 9 years. Calvin obviously didn't have the team success you're talking about. But if you look at those numbers, around the same games, Calvin has him clipped considerably in yards, and Gronk's got him beat in touchdowns. And when you consider that Calvin, how dominant he was at the receiver position, and obviously part of that job is not blocking the way it is tight end. When his touchdown numbers are greater than Calvin's, when his yards are 75, 80% of Calvin Johnson's, and you add what he did in the run game when he didn't touch the ball, the way he could impact the game, and I understand Calvin Johnson could impact the game by being double-teamed and skewing coverages, but those are 2 guys that come to mind that both played under a decade in this league, put up monster, like their best year is as good as anyone's best year at the position, but just didn't. The reason they won't be included in the who's the greatest wide receiver, who's the greatest tight end, is because they needed to do it 7 years longer, 6 years longer, and they each played 9 seasons.
Yeah, his career was cut short because of injury. We know that. And I think one of the things I appreciated about Gronk was the yards after the catch. He made guys, he punished guys. Yeah. He made defenders cower in the back end of defenses. He was able to do that. And another factor, you talk about the greatest ever, you have to say, what did he do in crunch time?
Yes.
What did he do when we needed you the most? AFC Championship game, big catches, first downs. Super Bowl, big catches, making big plays. He was always there for Tom Brady, red zone threat all over the field. You know, he's certainly in that conversation.
So that's what I was going to bring up. How much better did he make Tom Brady? How much easier did he make the game for Tom Brady, knowing that wide receivers came and they went throughout the course of Tom Brady's career? Gronk has been, for the most part, that mainstay for him.
Yeah, football's the ultimate team game, and you need great teammates to have a great career.
If I was a quarterback and I'm throwing to CC, because he can catch the ball all over the place, he can make me look good. Gronk had the ability, and Tom Brady's great. No, don't get us wrong. But Gronk made Tom Brady a better quarterback because of his catch radius, his ability to go up and over receivers. Same way that CC did, same way that the greats do. They make the players around them better. Gronk had that same.
And that's one thing I would say about Gronk. If I could have all the tight ends, and as far as forget their career, I need to throw one pass. He's going to be one of the ones because he has wide receiver type hands. He makes very difficult catches in traffic. I mean, the difficulty on some of those catches going down the seam, the most dangerous passes in the football are if you play outside or when you have to come inside and you can't avoid people. And the most dangerous passes from a tight end standpoint are when you are running down the seam and you have to look over your shoulder and you know that you're getting ready to get hit. And Gronk used to thrive in those situations. Even the catch he made in the Super Bowl that got the ball inside the 5-yard line. You tell me that's like a Willie Mays catch. Like, those catches are so difficult. Gronk did them on a regular basis. So for me, his overall catch radius, blocking ability, versatility in the offense, that's what makes him become one of the greatest that's ever played the game.
Oh, he'll be missed. Brian, stick around.
Absolutely.
Take a break coming up. Why is Odell feeling dangerous? Next on First Things First.
Half-price games Wednesday at Dave & Buster's. Now Hump Day